Guess who's back? Back again. Rachel's back. Tell a friend. So stupid. Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Rachel. I make videos about anti-Semitism and YouTube and books and all kinds of weird stuff, like a whole bunch of things that are not related to each other at all. And this is going to be a weird one. I would say if there's like a Venn diagram for this channel, it's like anti-Semitism, books, Jewish stuff in general, and like pop culture-y things. So Abby Shapiro, I am coming for your wig or your shaitel, no judgment. She has great hair, whatever she's got going on, it looks good. If you're watching, you probably know who she is. Most people became aware of Abby because she tried to like astroturf her way into an influencer career by just wallpapering YouTube with irritating ads. Like seriously, some of the most obnoxious advertising I've ever seen. She's also the baby sister of noted community embarrassment Ben Shapiro. Abby bills herself as a conservative influencer with focus on femininity and conservative family values. Weird, that doesn't sound familiar at all. Here we have a point of clarification. When I say conservative, I am referring to the United States political movement of people who want to oppose progressive policies and return to the laws and gender roles of the early 80s, of the 1880s. This can be confusing because there's also lower C, conservative Judaism, which is one of the three main sects of Judaism today. Abby is a capital C conservative Jew, not a conservative Jew. She is modern Orthodox, which is part of what we'll be tackling here today. Now, I am not here to wag my finger at people who practice Judaism different than I do. That is not what I do. There's an old joke that anyone who's more religious than I am is insane, and anyone who's less religious than me isn't really Jewish. And I'm of the opinion that it's none of my business either way. So let's start there. If you've ever been online, you'll know that people make fun of Abby, and she does deserve criticism. She has been judged cringe, and justice is swift and unmerciful. I do think she's deserving of a lot of the flack she's received, because she is a public figure by choice, and she has taken a reactionary political stance. She is doing this on purpose. She wanted a career in media, and she wanted to get attention. She is basically repackaging what a lot of conservative women influencers have been doing for years. Abby did not reinvent the wheel here. She's honestly kind of boring if you just look at her image from a broad standpoint. Abby is in a lot of ways really like astonishingly similar to the boilerplate conservative Christian influencer. Wearing makeup in a God-honoring way, leggings aren't pants, you know the shtick. She also leads with her persecution complex about being a conservative because she claims that people discriminate in the influencer space against her. To which I say, most of the biggest mommy Instagram influencers are Mormons. You can't get much more conservative than that. Obviously, progressives aren't going to want to support someone who has conservative beliefs, but that isn't really the audience she is cultivating anyway. So there's a lot of valid criticism of Abby that I have no problem with. For example, like a lot of conservative women, she claims women belong in the home with their babies, tending to their husbands. You know, despite the fact that she's a classically trained singer and conservative commentator. Can someone please explain to Abby what a career is? I think a lot of these women only think a job is a job if you do it in an unflattering power suit. And I say this as the daughter of a woman who owns a hot pink power suit. And I'm not saying that stay-at-home moms can't have hobbies or even odd jobs. Abby's the one saying that. Pitting parents against each other is so tired, but I digress. The problem I have with criticism of Abby is they so often devolve into anti-Semitism, deep misogyny, and horrifying discussions about her appearance. And by people, I mean mostly men. I'm not going to show examples in this video out of respect, but a lot of men, regardless of political leanings, post memes about how hot Abby is and how they want to do things to her. They use explicit and offensive and anti-Semitic language to describe her, edit photos of her, so on. Not only is this harassment disgusting, it's suffused with anti-Semitism. Truly, if you want to lose faith in the goodness of humanity as a whole, just Google Abby Shapiro, you'll be well on your way. If someone has a public life, it is possible and even probable that they will experience some harassment. It doesn't make it right, but it is reality, you know? However, I do not think this level of sexist and vile targeting has happened so ubiquitously online since Anita Sarkeesian. I think the reason that Abby has been so viciously attacked is two-pronged. She became highly visible very quickly, and her brother is already well known, so that adds a layer to it. And secondly, she's Jewish, and people are just monstrous to Jews online. Seriously, just check any of my comments. I get the most awful ones removed. Now, sexualizing someone can be a neutral act, right? Especially when that person wants to be sexualized. However, Abby has made it abundantly clear that modesty is an important value for her. I grew up attending religious Jewish schools, so I am familiar with this kind of modesty. It's called sneas or sneut. It can be used as an adjective or a verb, like, is this dress sneas? Or, Abby values sneut as an observant Jew. Now, in different communities of Jews, sneas means different things. Generally, though, the idea is not to sexualize oneself and not to show too much skin. This shirt, very sneas, because it's not too revealing, not too clingy, everything's covered up. And the rules of sneut change as girls become women. There are also expectations about how men should dress and the kind of personal space that should be afforded to people of all genders. But that's a different video. Abby has clearly stated that she's sneas and does not want to be seen by people in a sexualized way. So when people sexualize and target her, that's sexual harassment. It's disgusting whenever anyone's dehumanized this way, but I think it has an extra edge when it's someone who values modesty who's being targeted. In Abby's community, the expectation that sneut cultivates is that only her husband is going to notice her beauty in that way. When Orthodox Jews dress sneas, they aren't just following their traditions, they're creating a social expectation. That precedent says, I am different than you, please respect my differences. Obviously, people still notice beautiful women, and they might even have thoughts about those women, but the expectation is that one keeps those thoughts to oneself. That's how one shows respect. I am not telling people not to do thought crimes. You can think as lustfully about Abby as you want, but it takes literally no effort to not sexually harass a stranger because you don't agree with her politics. Or even if you do agree with them. It really makes me cringe at so-called progressive men who claim to respect all women but will say vile things about Abby. So you only respect the right kind of women, then. Personhood and safety are not commodities that are purchased with the correct opinion. I vehemently disagree with Abby about most things. I'm pretty sure the only thing we have in common is our ethnicity. But you'll notice that I've managed to disagree with her respectfully. And Abby has a significant amount of power. She's rich, she's influential, and she has a public platform that she uses to make my community and people like me look bad. I do not like Abby Shapiro. And you don't have to either. But the least you can do is to not constantly objectify her and fantasize about raping her on the internet. If you have to have these vile thoughts, please, by all means, keep them in your mind where they're only going to hurt you. And this relates to feelings that I have about Ivanka Trump. I know, I don't want to claim her either, but we can't always get what we want, huh? A lot of people say that Ivanka isn't really Jewish and that she only married Jared for the money anyway, and to that I say, why are you like this? I wish I knew less than nothing about Ivanka, but here we are. Look, you can't invalidate converts because you don't like one of them. I have hated every lacrosse player that I've ever met, but you don't see me out here making it into an issue, do you? When you say so-and-so isn't really Jewish because X, you are being a shit weasel. Whether someone is born Jewish or if they convert, their Jewishness is not a topic of conversation. That is between them and their rabbi. Besides, I might have some bad news for you. There are a lot of Jewish Republicans. They have like a whole Jewish Republican conference where I assume they all talk about how our theology totally lines up with letting people be homeless and starving. I wouldn't know, I've never been. My point is, that Jewishness is not a distillable quality that one can suss out using politics or blood tests or surveys. You found a Jew you don't like? Congratulations, welcome to the club. A lot of people don't like me. I live with it. So to sum up, hate people for being bad, not for being Jewish women. Also, I will kink shame you if your kink is harassment. I know I keep going on extended breaks. I did have to start a new job and I am doing well. I'm excited about a bunch of new videos we have coming out. Sam is gonna do the next one. It's about the Wizard game. And thank you guys so much for watching and supporting us. I know that a lot of friends are joining us over from Tumblr where somebody made a list of our account as like a Jewish YouTube account. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.